Access to higher education is just one of the opportunities we have made available to slum children at Asha that has unlocked a new future for them. The ways in which this experience helps students to grow, both personally and academically, is an amazing testament to the value of a higher education. We now welcome one of these students to the stage, Sneha, a student from one of our newest areas, N86 Lawrence Road. She represents the other 218 slum students seated here tonight, as well as hundreds of slum children all over the city.
मैं आज आप लोगों के सामने समाज को ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि कैसे बस्ती में रहने वाले बच्चों की पढ़ने लिखने की इच्छा दम तोड़ देती है और कैसे कोई आशा की किरण उम्मीद व आत्मविश्वास का उजाला कर देती है। मैंने 8x8 की झुग्गी, भुखमरी, लाचारी व मायूसी से लेकर आशा संस्था, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी और अब इस मंच तक का सफर तय किया है। हमारा 4 लोगों का परिवार एक कमरे की एक छोटी सी कच्ची झुग्गी में रहने को मजबूर है। उसी एक कमरे में खाना, नहाना, कपड़े धोना व सोना अगर देखा जाए तो किसी कठोर सजा से कम नहीं है। गर्मी, सर्दी व बरसात हमारे लिए भयंकर मुसीबत लेकर आती है। मुझे याद है वो दिन जब हमारी मिट्टी व लकड़ी से बनी झुग्गी बारिश के मौसम में बार बार ढह जाती थी और मेरे माता पिता हम बच्चों को संभालने व झुग्गी दोबारा से बनाने में लग जाते थे। वो काम पर नहीं जा पाते थे, नतीजन हमें पूरा दिन भूखा रहना पड़ता था। इतने सालों में सिर्फ एक वक्त ही खाना खाकर रहने की आदत सी पड़ गई थी। जीवन के इस लगातार संघर्ष में कॉलेज जाने का सपना तक देखना असंभव था। पिताजी से उम्मीद लगाना बेकार था, क्योंकि मजदूरी करके वो 2 वक्त की रोटी जुटा ले वही काफी था। एक दिन डॉक्टर किरण मार्टिन व आशा के अन्य सदस्य मेरी बस्ती में आकर लोगों से मिले और प्रोत्साहित किया। तब से एजुकेशन से संबंधित वर्कशॉप और काउंसलिंग शुरू हो गई। धीरे धीरे बच्चों में पढ़ाई लिखाई को लेकर माहौल बनना शुरू हो गया। बाद में मुझे पता चला कि माननीय शिक्षा मंत्री श्री कपिल सिब्बल जी आशा की एक स्लम बस्ती में लोगों और बच्चों से मिले थे। बच्चों की उच्च शिक्षा में रुचि देखकर उन्होंने डॉक्टर जी से अनुरोध किया कि वे उनकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में भी काम करें। इसी प्रयास के कारण मैं आज आपके सामने खड़ी हूँ। आशा ने मेरी ही नहीं बल्कि मेरी तरह और भी कई विद्यार्थियों की पूरे यूनिवर्सिटी एडमिशन प्रोसेस में मदद की। साथ ही साथ फीस, कपड़े और काउंसलिंग इत्यादि से हमारा कॉलेज में पढ़ने का सपना साकार किया। कॉलेज में एनसीसी से जुड़कर मैंने पैरासेलिंग, सेल्फ डिफेंस आदि में भाग लिया। मेरी मेहनत और उत्साह को देखते हुए आज मुझे सीनियर सार्जेंट बना दिया गया। आज मेरे माता पिता की आंखें खुशी से भर आती हैं कि मैं न केवल अपने परिवार की बल्कि अपने गांव की पहली लड़की हूं जिसने यूनिवर्सिटी में कदम रखा है। अब मैं अपने बढ़े हुए आत्मविश्वास के साथ करियर प्लानिंग के बारे में सोच पा रही हूँ। मैंने तय कर लिया है कि मैं पुलिस या सेना से जुड़कर देश की सेवा करूंगी। आज जब मैं यहाँ तक पहुँच सकती हूँ तो मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि वो दिन दूर नहीं है जब बस्तियों के हजारों लाखों विद्यार्थियों यूनिवर्सिटी जा पाएंगे और अपना भविष्य उज्जवल बनाएंगे। मैं माननीय श्री कपिल सिब्बल जी को हार्दिक धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ कि उन्होंने न केवल अपनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी की बस्तियों में अनेक सुधार कार्य किए बल्कि शिक्षा को प्राथमिकता देते हुए आशा को वहां कार्य करने के लिए प्रोत्साहित किया। मैं डॉक्टर किरण मार्टिन को अपनी सगी माँ से बढ़कर समझती हूँ। उनके शब्द की तुम किसी से कम नहीं हो हमें हर कदम पर प्रेरित करते हैं। उन्होंने न केवल मेरा बल्कि अनेक बस्तियों के कई विद्यार्थियों का भी भविष्य संवारा है। I would like to say a very big thank you to Mr. Alex Chernov and his team for all that they are doing through this program to give slum children better opportunities. I would also like to thank His Excellency Mr. Peter Verghese for the support of the Australian High Commission and Professor Dinesh Singh for his presence here tonight. I hope all of students will make you proud by working hard and achieving our goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Sneha. It is now my great pleasure to introduce the Honourable Mr. Alex Chernov, Chairman of the Australia-India Institute and Chancellor of the University of Melbourne. Before I go any further, I would like to take this opportunity to announce that last week Mr. Chernov was appointed Governor-Designate of the State of Victoria. Mr. Chernov, please accept our warmest congratulations for your appointment. The Honourable Mr. Chernov has travelled an extraordinary journey over the years. A child of Russian immigrant parents, his studies led him to pursue a career in law, throughout which he has been instrumental in shaping the legal profession and legal education nationally. After becoming a member of the Council of the University of Melbourne, he was appointed Chancellor, and on the advent of the creation of the Australia-India Institute, became its chairman. His career has been marked by a passion for seeing justice served for all people and a deep understanding of the powerful force that learning can play in one's life. The Honourable Mr. Chernov is a strong believer in the transformational power that tangible change can have on an individual's motivation to do all they can to become the agent of change in their own circumstances. Through joining hands with Asha and seeking to further empower Delhi's slum dwellers, the Chancellor has opened the gates wide, and the thousands of people impacted will be free to dream even bigger. It is now my great pleasure to invite the Honourable Mr. Chernov to the podium. Please join me in welcoming him.
The Honourable Minister Chancellor, Minister for Human Resource Development and Communication and IT, Your Excellency, the Australian High Commissioner to India, Mr. Peter McGage, distinguished guests including members of the Asha community and the Asha students in particular, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to participate in the launch of one of the key flagship projects, being the partnership to support the aspiration of Delhi's urban poor. This is, as you've heard, a joint venture between Asha, the Australian India Institute, and the University of Melbourne's National Institute of Global Health. This project and its launch had a long period of comprehensive planning, with Dr. Karen Martin in particular, and we are very excited that at long last this is about to become a reality. Yesterday, the three joint ventures signed an MOU in relation to the project, and tonight it will be launched by the Minister Chancellor, who has had a deep interest in the progress of the Asha community. Each of the partners is a significant entity, and they combine to make a positive contribution to support the Delhi's urban poor. The Australian India Institute plays a crucial role in the strategic engagement between India and Australia, principally by facilitating collaborative research by thinkers in both countries in areas of mutual interest, such as public health, education, resource and environment, amongst others. Importantly, the name of the Institute reflects the fact that it operates both in Australia and India. Its director is Professor Mattu, one of India's renowned thinkers and writers on international relations. Not only is he an outstanding academic who has taught at leading universities across the world, he's a skilled administrator and leader, having been, for example, the youngest Vice-Chancellor of the University of Jammu. He currently holds chair in disarmament in New Delhi's JNU and was a member of the Prime Minister's high-level advisory group, the National Knowledge Commission. He's also a member of numerous think tanks and advisory boards to the government in particular. He will be leading the Institute's work in Australia and in India. The Institute's important International Advisory Committee has as its chair Dr. Asha, who, as you know, is a leading economist here, who's a member of numerous institutes and other organisations that advise governments on policy and their implementation. The other members are the immediate past High Commissioner, Australia's High Commissioner to India, Dr. Indu Shahani, the Sheriff of Mumbai, and Mr. Neville Roach, a leading Australian businessman who has strong ties with his native India. The University of Melbourne's Nossal Institute is a world-renowned global health body that has carried out significant work in India, and we're delighted that Nossal Institute's Vice Chairman, Mr. Bill Burdett, and its Deputy Director, Professor Peter Deutschmann, are here this evening. The Asha project needs no elaboration at the moment. This program that is to be launched aims to determine, by way of objective research to be carried out under the auspices of the Nossal Institute, the reasons for the extraordinary success of Asha. Yesterday, my colleagues and I visited the Asha community and saw firsthand some of the results of Dr. Kira Martin's work. Amongst others, the empowering of women in the Asha community, such that they are now partners and key players in the transformation of that slum community in terms of providing security of tenure, improved health and economic environment entitlements, which they only dreamed of but a few years ago. Perhaps the most far-reaching has been the revolution in the education of the children in the Asha community, such that since 2009, most children have not only completed school, but 400 are receiving college education, and the aspiration, as you've heard, is to have 5,000 slum children in the university within the next 5 years. All that is relatively obvious. The success is known to just about all who have come into contact with Asha. What is less obvious and what is less known are the reasons for that success. What is it that Asha has done? What is it that Dr. Martin has done that's brought about the success? What is it that they've decided not to do that has facilitated this result? Now, these matters will be assessed through the research to be conducted through our program. It will inform the way forward not only at Asha, but also at other slum communities and in those in government concerned with meeting the social problems arising from the burgeoning population in India's rapidly growing urban centres. As Minister Sri Kapil Sibal said in his inaugural address at the Australian India Institute lecture in Melbourne in April last year, addressing the plight of those who cannot speak for themselves and those who are not heard is best achieved through partnerships which produce positive results that outweigh significantly the total of the separate efforts of the participants. The partnership between Asha, the Australian India Institute, and the University of Melbourne's Nossal Institute for Global Health seeks to make such a contribution to progressing the remarkable work of Dr. Kira Martin. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor.